starting a video like this is never easy. You know, I feel like every single time, it feels like over the last few weeks that these types of videos of this violence just keeps on ramping up, just constantly and constantly, and it's almost getting to the point where it's like becoming concerning to this certain extent. And if you don't know, right, which you've obviously seen the title of this video, and if you've been online over the last few hours, you've 100% seen, is that Charlie Kirk, who is a conservative activist, right, he goes out to universities all around in America to debate people about political opinions. He was in the Utah University doing one of these that he does regularly. This man goes out all the time and does these, and he was fatally shot and killed. And I don't know the details of it, and obviously I can't show the video because there is the video of it going around online, and because of YouTube and because of, you know, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show it here. But I will say that I have seen the video, and it's extremely traumatizing. I will say, like, the moment I saw that video, I was taken back very, very much. And I think that this is like a very much an eye-opener to what we've seen in recent times. And also the response to this has been extremely it doesn't surprise me, but at the same time I'm still shocked and mad of the type of, you know, response that a lot of people have given to this death, which is extremely, like, it's not a good thing to have of someone like this being shot and killed. So first I want to go into the implications of how not surprising something like this has become, because it's really not, because we've seen in previous weeks a lot of this has happened. Just a couple weeks ago we saw that shooter in I think it was Minneapolis, that trans shooter who went ahead and they shot up a church full of children because of their beliefs, because the fact that, you know, they were religious, and that their parents might have been conservative, and they, you know, had these political beliefs, and they want to go out and put out this violence. Then just a few days ago we had that black man who was on the railway in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he went ahead and killed this woman. And then it came out, the extended video came out yesterday of him where he's walking around the railway talking about, oh, I got that white girl, saying it multiple times. So violence like this, it's almost like, yes, it's still shocking. I'm not saying that it's not, because it 100% is, but it's not surprising at the same time. I saw Asmongold put out a tweet about this whole entire situation, and he kind of like wraps it up very perfectly in the words that he says. And he says that anyone surprised at what happened to Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention. Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc., and you'll find thousands of unhinged direct calls to violence over politics. Until it's addressed for what it is, things like this will continue to happen. That is 100%. I mean, has everyone seen, like, it really is concerning of the amount of violence that you see and how regular it is. Like I said, is that when it came to that Minneapolis shooting, just a couple of weeks ago, is that people on Reddit, they were like celebrating this. They were talking about this, and people talk about committing these types of acts of violence all the time on the internet, to the point where it's becoming normalized. And I find it extremely ironic and hypocritical, because you get people who, the ones that are like calling for the violence on people like this, are obviously, you know, extreme leftists, and they talk about all the time about how, you know, they're getting genocided, about how, you know, trans people are getting killed in public and all that kind of stuff, in the way that these, you know, laws are being put in. And then they're going out and actually killing people. It's like violence isn't being committed against you. People are having different opinions against you, and people are just trying to correct the law in what they think it should be by majority opinion. They're not killing you. Why the fuck are you taking it to the next level, going ahead and actually, you know, committing violence against these people because they have different political opinions against you? And you know what? Charlie Kirk even talked about this on Twitter. He put out a post that I've seen that's gone around, where he even talked about the assassination culture that's been spreading in these far left radicalized people, where he says assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. 55% said the same about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Mangione, prigioni. The left is being whipped into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or losing a court case, justifies a maximally violent response. This is the nature outgrowth of the left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. This is 100% true. It is. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous of how normalized violence has become in these radicalized people. And it's become so normalized that these people are now starting to celebrate it. That's right. Some people are going ahead and celebrating the death of this man. It fucking baffles my brain of how people can go ahead and want to celebrate the death of someone who was a husband and a father. And this man, if you've ever gone ahead and you've ever watched Charlie Kirk, like out in, and when he's gone to these universities or colleges around America, he's never like rude to these people. He isn't. Like, the way that he goes ahead, he just puts out his political opinions towards these people. These people are the ones that have been rude to him his entire time. All he wants to do is just talk to people. That's it. He just wants to talk to people and just say, hey, this is what I believe. This is why I think you're wrong. Hey, look at the way that I see things. That's all he's wanted. And then people have taken it as far as it wanting to like kill him, and then when he is killed, people are going ahead and celebrating this. And the thing about this that even like makes me even more mad is how the media in America is covering this situation. I already know that the media is biased as fuck. They are biased, and it's bad. It's really bad of how biased they are. But the fact that MSNBC came out and the way they talked about this is absolutely disgusting to the point where they need to be taken off air.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt,
and that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot.
Is this man for real? Awful words lead to awful violence? No. I'm sorry, what kind of fucking 12-year-old method do you have? The fact that someone has a different political opinion, it's not violent words. If it's a different opinion than you have, that's what it is. It's not violent words. It's a different opinion. And then the fact that MSNBC, they also said that the shooter might have been a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. Are they fucking for real? What, you're blaming like the right? You're blaming his supporters that supporters shooting their gun off in celebration. Are you fucking stupid? This media, like not even just MSNBC, but Fox as well. Okay, like, because when it comes to covering leftist stuff, they can, like, you know, muddy the waters a lot. The media in America needs to be fucking taken down and rebuilt up. It does, because it's just horrible. The fact that someone was murdered and you're going ahead and talking like this is fucking ridiculous. And one thing I want to say as well is that if you are one of these people that is celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, one, you're retarded. Like, you're actually fucking retarded. Because if there was someone who disagreed with my political opinions and they were killed in cold blood, I would not celebrate that. No, it's sad. It 100% is. Whenever anyone is murdered because of their political opinions, when someone is assassinated like this, it's not a time to celebrate. I'm sorry, but it's fucking not. But the one thing that I find really ironic, right, is that all these people, they call, you know, right-winged people fascists and Nazis. Well, last time I checked, the ones that were fascists were the ones that were going around and murdering people. Fascists are the ones who kill and assassinate people because they disagree with their political opinions. And if you think that killing someone is going to stop people from believing in something or stop people from having an opinion, all that's going to do is like actually make people more radicalized against you. All radicalization does is radicalize the other side against you more. That's all that does. If you are someone who thinks that this is going to help, that violence like this is going to help, over the last few weeks should have already shown you that it's not. Because with the killings that happened in Minneapolis, all it has done that I have seen on the internet is that it's radicalized people more against the left. The fact that those videos now have started to come out of that black man killing that Ukrainian girl on the railway, all it has led to on the internet is people getting more radicalized. And you know what I've already seen over the last few hours after like this Charlie Kirk assassination has happened is it's leading to more people being radicalized on the opposite side than the left. So if you are someone who thinks that this violence is going to help, no, all it's going to do is that it creates more political divide. What creates people getting together and what closes that political divide, and if you want actual people on your side, is being like kind and actually voicing your opinions in a good way. Violence never solves anything. If anything, violence makes everything worse. And I think it should show over these events, over these 3 events that I've pointed out that have happened over the last few weeks. But my heart goes out to Charlie Kirk and his family. The fact that he has now left a wife and kids behind, that to me is the part that fucking hits me the most. It really does. The fact that this man had 2, I think it was 2 kids that he had, and he's leaving behind a wife, that fucking breaks me. It really does. And if you are someone who is, for Charlie Kirk and you're scared, if you are someone who is just like, man, I have these beliefs that Charlie Kirk has, and I'm afraid that, one day I might be assassinated for my beliefs and I want to be silent. No, times like this is where you shouldn't be silent. Times like this is where you should voice your opinions more than ever. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about this whole entire situation down below. My heart goes out to Charlie Kirk and his family. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.